This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandon Aaron Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, Life Blinded Fool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Kristen Jordan, and Margaret. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Roxy Wilson, Dyer Waffle, Jordan Hodges, and Joanna Donizak to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it and could not do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 9 of Crossroads of Twilight.
Yeah, Chapter 9 is Traps, of which there are apparently many.
Many traps.
So yeah, we're going to do this
Lots
chapter.
of traps.
Yeah.
One chapter. Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, it was kind of a big one too.
Yes.
But for the fun fact, I figured we could either continue the aqueduct fun fact, because there's a lot of helpful comments in the Discord.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Or we could scrap that and go with a fun fact on Fail.
Both?
Nope, you just get one.
Oh, because the people are going to be like, one way or another on this.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go Fail.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
If you're interested in more Aqueduct fun facts, you can head over to our Discord channel
Yeah.
under the Dani Discussions channel.
There's a lot.
There's a lot there.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
good.
find it there.
I still really don't understand it, but something about spirals and, lifting and things of that nature.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Fail. So,
yeah, tell me more. Tell me about Fail. Was this actually up to me?
not really, actually.
Oh, that's funny. So I guess right?
You did.
Wow.
I was hoping.
Okay.
Anyways, so this is
you
from...
know me so well.
I know. I figured you wouldn't be interested. It's a pretty safe bet. So this is from the Origins of the Wheel of Time book. So this is a direct pull from where the Fail origins come from. So first off, Fail, her first name is, if you recall... Zareen.
Which means pretty girl who sits on pillows and eats bonbons.
A little bit, because it actually echoes the English serene.
Okay.
Okay, and then her last name, Bashir, comes from the Arabic Bashir, meaning bringer of good news.
Ooh.
Which is debatable, because, I don't know what kind of good news Files brought ever.
Well,
but
what about Davram Bashir? Has he brought good news in any capacity?
He was like, hey, Rand, I'm on your side. That's kind of good news.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, this is about Fail. Now, the name Fail, which she took for herself, so RJ probably found the name in the, and forgive the pronunciation, the Leah Fail, which is a standing stone on the hill of Tara in Ireland. And this was, according to legend, the stone upon which the kings of Ireland were long crowned. And then I did a little bit more research into the standing stone in Ireland, and there's a whole Wikipedia page. So the Leah Fail is one of the 4 treasures of the Tuatha De Danann. And
the traveling people.
That might sound familiar because
it
back in Eye of the World, I did an entire fun fact about the Tuatha De Danann in Irish mythology, and they're linked to the Wheel of Time, and Aes Sedai and Tinkers. Mm-hmm. So, it all fits together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where the name comes from.
Exactly,
okay.
Yeah. And if you're wondering what are the other 3 treasures, there's a sword, a spear, and a cauldron.
Okay.
And this standing stone.
All right.
Okay, there we go. Well,
before we jump into Chapter 9 here, I figured I could take some time. And you're looking at me. You
I'm
were
worried.
not prepped. I didn't prep you at all.
Yeah.
Since we are a little bit behind in recordings, our episode came out a few days ago, which gave people a chance to send us some either information or queries or information based on what we talked about last episode.
Okay, fun.
So I've had a couple messages that I actually feel are pertinent to share.
Okay, all right, let's do this.
So number 1 is from Paw Prince Saddlery on Instagram. They want our listeners to know that even though you shared about the garlic superstition, about feeding garlic to your dogs to prevent fleas, it's actually very unhealthy for dogs and cats to eat garlic and onions.
Okay, all right.
So please do not feed your pets garlic.
I feel like I prepped with this is not medical advice.
It can cause them to have organ failure.
Okay, all right. I have said it before, I
know
am
that.
not a doctor.
But that's why
Yeah.
it's important to share certain things.
I also learned that apparently the internet is not always correct. Interesting.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And, they do go on to say that people continue to believe that garlic will prevent fleas for some odd reason. It doesn't repel with smell, and it doesn't change the taste of the blood.
Interesting.
So please
Okay.
don't feed your pets garlic.
Don't do it.
PSA.
Don't take medical advice from Brett.
Yes. And thank you to people who write in and say things.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, I have a second one.
Okay.
And this is from somebody who said, I wasn't sure if I should write in because you probably get enough messages from parent fans as it is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I'm like, you're right about that.
Let's do this.
But this person comes to Perrin's defense a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually agree with it.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So I need to show that I do have a soft spot.
Hit me. Well, you're married to Perrin, so, come on.
I get it. And now the idea is that it doesn't get talked about enough that the reason Perrin is so obsessed with Fail and finding Fail is because he's been traumatized over finding his entire family murdered. And Fail is the only one person left in his life he considers family.
Yeah,
So,
I can understand that.
It doesn't excuse his poor decision making, but it doesn't seem fair to call him terrible for being mad at Glenn for not focusing, because he's 100% PTSD at this moment.
Oh, yeah, no, he's definitely not doing great. Well, there's also, that one distant cousin of his,
Right.
Not
However,
close. Yeah, I get it.
And he does have the Luhans, who are presumably still alive, who, kind of raised him from, 11 or whatever it is. How I do want to put that out there, that we can be a touch sympathetic about what's going on.
Yeah.
We get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you ready to start this
Yeah,
episode?
no, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to everyone who reached out on Instagram, Twitter, and Discord. Those are the best places to reach out to us if you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard in an episode. We would love to hear from you. We read every single comment and I respond. I try seriously to every single comment in our DMs. So please let us know. And obviously keep spoilers away.
Yeah, for sure.
So chapter 9 is called Traps. And now, after reading the whole thing twice through, I think that there are maybe a lot of traps here.
I think there's 3 that are mentioned.
Ooh, okay.
Because I think near the end, she's like, this is the 3rd one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was wondering too, because it's like, should we be trusting that chick? I don't know.
Okay.
My gut says I want to trust her. The one who swears to her?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
yeah,
we'll
that
talk
wasn't
about
one
it.
of the traps that...
Yeah, but it might be.
hidden
it
4th
felt
trap.
Like maybe that's the trap. Right?
Okay. Well, yeah, no, there's specifically there's 3 traps.
But that also felt...
It could be a secret 4th. I like that.
Like a trap.
There could be other hidden traps
and
too.
the chapter symbol, Fael Falcon.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hence the fun fact.
I thought your fun fact was going to be about, more about falcons,
Oh, yeah.
Or how the name Fael connects to falconry.
Yeah.
Or
I
whatever,
feel like I've
but,
done a whole comparison about the birds of prey and things like that too, but...
Oh, yeah, we've definitely done that.
We've covered some things.
For sure.
I can find more if you want.
Okay, so... Oh, you know what I didn't do? I got all flustered and confused by going to social media last time we were here.
Oh, yeah.
I skipped that part.
Yeah, right.
It was Perrin. We were doing Perrin stuff.
Yeah, because we're trying to rescue Fael.
Right. And
who's the Falcon.
And he's like, let's take prisoners.
Yes. Yeah, that was the plan.
Uh-huh.
To learn more. He knows where the camp is.
To be fair, at the end of last episode, I said out loud,
yeah,
let's let Fael have her own plan here, because she's for sure going to try to rescue herself.
Yeah.
I said that at the end of book 9.
Yep.
I said at the beginning of this book, and I'm saying it again.
Okay.
And now it seems like anything Perrin is going to try to do is probably going to be not good.
That's fair.
Unless it's stealth mission.
Yeah.
But I really don't know how anything is getting past these people.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I 100% agree. There's a lot of traps, you could say, ahead of this whole rescue Fael plan.
Okay.
And we'll talk about Fael's plans after we get through the chapter.
Well, they're minimal
or lack thereof.
They're minimal, but...
She's not a map planner where he's like, I got 17 different routes I might go.
No.
Yeah,
but I'm very eager to talk about this new marriage proposal situation that she's in.
Hey, I don't think it was a marriage proposal. I think it was just like a casual dating situation.
No. He said, like, I could have you
What
as my
happens
wife.
with the Shido?
He said, I've heard you have a husband, and
Yeah.
for me that meant, like, but you can be my wife.
For the next year or so.
Yeah. Exactly.
What happens with the Shido stays with the Shido. Yeah. It's a Vegas situation.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Right? That's what they say?
Sure. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the as per tradition.
Okay.
After a Perrin perspective.
We get a Fael perspective.
And it's tracking.
Back to back.
It is so tracking. I mentioned it last time, and again.
Yeah.
It happens. Perrin and Fael back to back every single time.
Awesome.
Every time.
Okay.
So here we go. Fael perspective. Fael is finishing reporting to one of the, like, other wise ones here who wants information on Savannah.
Yeah.
And from what it seems right now, it's like Savannah's just doing a lot of complaining.
Yeah.
She's really lazy.
For the record, so back in Winter's Heart in chapter 4, so it was the beginning of last book.
Yep.
This wise one she's reporting to is Somarin, and she was the one who was also there when Tharava recruited Fael to spy on Savannah for her. So she is named, and she did show up last book, so we do technically know who she is. So this is Somarin.
Okay, Samarin.
Yeah.
Now, Fael is currently dressed like a Gaishain, pretending to act like one. She's being meek, not making eye contact, and most of the wise ones here don't actually like Savannah very much, and that is not a surprise to anybody on this couch, for sure.
That's why they're spying. That's why they're doing the whole thing.
That's why.
Yeah.
And so then we get this really big description on the whole camp, because all of the Gaishain are being kept in their own sort of camp.
Yeah.
And the initial way it's described, it's that they're being kept on their own. And my initial thought was, oh, this is actually going to make it really easy for us to escape.
Yeah, except...
And then the next sentence is, they're being kept in the very center of the
middle,
camp to prevent them from escaping. And I went, oh.
Yeah, so they're, like, left alone, but you can't get out.
Right, because I originally thought, like, oh, maybe because they're Aiel and they think Gaishain don't escape because they know their place.
Yeah.
That they would just assume the Wetlanders, but no, obviously the Wetlanders have all been caught trying to escape.
Yeah.
And
they're all up to speed.
The hell with tradition.
Yeah.
The hell with any sort of honor.
Yeah, which is interesting because it also brings up the Bane and Chiad situation. It seems like they do have more leeway because they are Aiel.
Well, that same
we'll
mindset,
see how that goes.
Though, the same mindset that Bane and Chiad have, save Fael in this chapter.
Yeah? Okay.
So, like, it saves her. It's the exact same mindset. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, bring it up.
There.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that when we get there.
Because, anyway, okay.
Yeah.
It's really, I don't even want to talk about that, but.
Yeah.
So, Fael really wants to be moving on from this conversation before she's recognized, because she doesn't want to get back to Savannah that she's talking to another wise one.
Yeah, and for the record, Savannah has a whole collection of personal servants.
Tons.
And they're all dressed in the same little, like...
They have an
outfit.
They have a uniform.
A uniform, yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, not necessarily that she specifically, Fael, would be recognized, but just in general, one of Savannah's servants too.
Well, and...
And her
Fael
also, yeah.
is pretty recognizable as a person.
Yeah, that's true too.
In this camp, right?
Yeah, it's the nose.
Well, it's just her in general, and
yeah.
The way they were captured. But anyway, now Savannah turns out is pretty ruthless with her treatment of Gaishain, and no one is surprised by that either.
Yep, but she goes a little bit further. She picks the worst servants of the day, and then punishes those 5, I think, specifically.
5.
Yeah, the worst ones.
The 5 who have pleased her the least are picked out for special punishments.
Yeah.
Just to encourage the rest to behave.
Yeah. Sometimes that includes being bound and gagged at nighttime.
Gosh.
It's not great.
All of this sucks.
It's not good.
I hate all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Fael thinks this is just one of the traps I'm currently in.
There we go.
So then we get the first trap word.
Yeah. The spying situation, I guess.
Yeah. So Fael tells Somarin that there's no more information to give, and then she doesn't respond.
Yeah, for I guess a while.
And then so Fael looks up and sees Somarin staring with her mouth hanging open in amazement at nothing. So this is clearly the timestamp of the cleansing happening.
The beginning of it.
The beginning of the cleansing starting to happen. So at this point, we get a description of the camp from Fail's perspective because she leaves.
Yeah.
And goes off to do her chores.
Laundry
Chores. We learn there are 10 seps here. So the information we found out before with Perrin last chapter is pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate. Yeah, it's pretty good.
But what that means, so we learned 9 or 10 seps last time.
Yep.
But what that actually means is 70,000 Shido.
Yeah.
Roughly.
So roughly 70,000 more than Perrin's going to be able to get together. Give or take.
Say,
Plus or minus 5,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say like 68,000 more.
Yeah, I mean, because Massima has like 10 to 12,000, but like, do we count on them? I don't know. That's not great.
That's true too.
Yeah.
No, definitely we don't count on them.
Okay. And also, the Wise One count was accurate.
400, over 400.
More than 400, less than 500. There you go.
That's
it's
exactly
like, pretty good.
So then, one by one, Fail starts noticing other Wise Ones staring off in the same direction as Sumerian.
Yeah.
And then she realizes it's just the Channeler Wise Ones.
It's the whole thing.
And she gets this spark of hope that maybe it's a lot of Aes Sedai.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good logic. Like
coming to rescue her.
Yeah. Like she gets
Perrin.
hope. That's good logic to be like, oh, only the Wise Ones who can channel are picking up on it. So it must be them sensing like Sidar. And what would make them look like that is a lot of Sidar. So maybe, just maybe. Like it's pretty good logic.
I'm gonna give Fael credit.
Yeah.
Good puzzling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Not rescuers.
No, but she even thinks to herself, it would be too soon.
Yeah, like not possible.
They're gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
Like absolutely destroyed, crushed it, and then there's no hope for her to escape if they were to try to save her now.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is true.
Yeah.
So Faela's gonna get moving, and she thinks about her silent fight against the Shido captivity and how she won't give up. Even though, hopefully, the Shido think that she's accepted her captivity. So that's a whole thing.
Yeah. It's the running plot of this is, like, she's not going to give in. But she can also, like, feel herself starting to do that. We get that with a few people, too. Where you've been in captivity long enough, and it's only been 22 days, and she thinks about that, too.
Yeah.
You want to fight, but, you know, at what point does my faking being meek and acting like a guy shine turn into just me being meek?
Because I'm terrified of being punished.
Exactly. Like, at what point? Same thing with the Damani, with the Shanshin, is like, yeah, how do you fight back against that?
Yeah. But she also thinks to herself she wants to escape before Perrin catches up because she has no doubts that he's following her.
Yeah.
Yep. Check.
Yep.
But she's also very aware of the Shadow's numbers versus Perrin's numbers.
Yep. Check.
Check. So she needs to make sure that Perrin doesn't try to smash his way into the camp.
Yeah, check.
Yeah, check.
Check, it's good.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Like, how though?
Yeah.
How are we? Because her one hope at getting information to Perrin is smashed to a pulp in approximately an hour from now. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Give or take. Yeah. No, but I mean, like, it's good, again, good logic with Fael, where she knows what Perrin's gonna do because he's way too stubborn to do anything but do everything you can to free her.
Yes.
And if you try to force your way in here, you're gonna get slaughtered. That's not good.
Alright, so Fael is gonna go about her laundry duty, and then there's a whole lot more exposition on Guy Shine and how the Shido took this town in the night, and
the people didn't have any chance because they didn't even know they were under attack until it was already over. It's like, we've seen the Aiel.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
There's also lots of Guy Shine just carrying water into the town to supply all the Aiel.
Yeah, the buckets of the water coming into the town. You know, it's actually interesting too because
I'm surprised that all these Aiel are cool with all the water that's being used just for laundry.
Okay, well, here's the thing. There's actually a really funny little story in this exposition about how when the Shido took this town, they were lighting everything on fire. Like, the city was burning down, and at first they weren't going to use water to put the fires out until finally the townsfolk were like, it's gonna burn down, and then they got their little pump trucks, and finally Shido let them put the fires out with their little fire pump trucks.
Yes.
So my fun fact was very close to being about origins of like fire truck pump trucks. I actually would have liked to
hear about that.
Because we saw them in Kyrene, I think it was too. We saw or Andor.
No, well, okay, maybe.
I think it was in Camelin we saw pump trucks.
We saw the steam engine for the first time.
No,
it was like a little truck.
I think Camelin had like a little pump truck for fires too.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's in the list of possible.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Because an inn in the Great Hunt burned down.
Yeah, but they were passing buckets of water, I think.
Were they?
I think it was water buckets because I've been watching this.
Wonder.
So if it comes up again, there definitely might be
a pump
Pump truck, fire truck, fun fact, origins of.
The next time you don't have anything for a fun fact.
That's what it's always like, you know? It's good.
That'll be funny.
Yeah.
But now Fail heads to the gates of this town that they're in.
Yeah, we get a name. It's Malden.
Malden.
Like, it didn't have a name, and now it has a name. It's Malden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where she's going to find Chiad.
Yes.
Who's hanging out here.
Yeah.
And then they do the thing where they pretend they're not talking to each other.
Yeah.
But they're just, like, coincidentally standing side by side here, not doing anything.
You know what I got the vibe of? In Handmaid's Tale.
I was just about to say that.
In the grocery stores.
It's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing when they go talk.
Oh, we're both just looking at this thing right here.
Yeah, just quit and standing side by side, but nobody knows we're talking.
Except that everybody ends up knowing.
Which is a problem because this entire chapter feels like I'm very careful about where I hide things. Nobody knows about the relationships I have with people because I've been very careful. Here, nobody knows we're having conversation. It's like, okay, Fael, at what point are you actually not being careful enough?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, let's keep an eye on that.
And the fact that even the chick who I'm, like, medium about if we should trust
right,
later
okay,
on,
yeah.
She knows a lot of information just from passing. Like, oh, she's really good at sussing out information.
Okay.
We should trust her.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how good actually is she at sussing out information?
Yeah.
Because
I'm trying to remember what she knows. Like, names?
Yeah, she knows her name.
Yeah.
She knows the Ibarra name.
Right.
And she knows, like, a couple
Oh,
other
right, because Fael's like,
and who she's connected with. Like, she knows a lot about Fael.
Yeah.
And uses that to swear to her.
Right.
Which we'll get to. Because that's honestly the mic drop of this whole thing.
Yeah.
But now that you're bringing this up, I think that...
She's not as careful.
She's not. I just don't think she's being as careful as she thinks she's being.
Yeah. Or she thinks she's being careful, but, like, we're up against the Aiel, who are very aware of who you might be, and, like, that wetlanders aren't to be trusted.
Well, and just the Shido themselves are, like, super sneaky.
Yeah.
And Aiel know how to surveil.
Yeah.
And recon.
That's the crazy thing. Like, they're Shido. Yeah, we don't like them. Yeah, they're kind of being a little bit lackadaisical in their nature here, sitting in town.
I love that word.
Yeah, but that's, like,
Brett,
that's what they're being.
That is such a good word.
But they're still...
lackadaisical, and you used it so effortlessly.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, well, you know.
I love that so much. What a good word.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I don't even remember. The Shido or lackadaisical.
Even when they're, like, being lazy, sluggish in a sense, they're still friggin' Aiel.
Yeah.
They're still Aiel. They're still way better at everything. Than anybody.
Well, that's why last chapter I was like, oh shit, 2 maidens just popped up.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys.
We should be careful.
We should have been worried about that from the beginning.
Yeah. Like, no matter which way you cut it, even Taviran Perrin twisting, he cannot come and storm Malden. He can't do it. It's not possible.
Even taking prisoners, they're gonna know if someone's missing.
Yeah. Like, these aren't just random scouts and be like, oh, I guess they disappeared. Where are they? Like, no, man, they're gonna be on top of this.
Know. They have their counts.
Yeah.
They have their inventories.
They're not like the White Cloaks on patrol who do their marching, if you remember.
I remember.
And they don't look out to the dark.
They have no idea.
And they're like, everything's fine here. Okay, go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Anyways, so that's where we are now.
Okay.
And Chiad has news.
Oh, God.
Oh,
bad.
Man.
Like, not bad news. News.
Wrong news.
Wrong news. She has misinformation.
Yeah.
So she says, they got away their first night here. Bane and I led them out to the trees and hid their tracks, and no one has seemed to realize they're gone at all.
Yeah.
And Fael sighs in relief, and then we find out that Fael had convinced her 2 Cha-Fael women to leave without her.
Yeah, so that's Lucille and Arella.
Yeah, they had an escape plan.
Yeah, a little bit, which is great.
Because she told them to carry a message to Perrin of where she is, let him know of the numbers that are here, and that Fael has her escape in hand, and any interference might endanger her, which is kind of true.
Yeah, it's like sort of true that she maybe has...
she doesn't have her own escape well in hand, but any interference will for sure cause her and Perrin both danger.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be great if he tries to do anything, but also, like, all of her plans right now are hinging on Galena and now maybe debatably Roland, and then
yeah, I think that's actually her best bet at
getting
this case.
Bane and Chia to help, which is not good.
Yeah,
because now they might be implicated if these two are actually caught, and Bane and Chia let them out.
For sure, and they know.
It's bad. Like it's not good.
Bad. And then Fail is like, "Hey, would you and Bane come with us because we're gonna leave too?"
Yeah, and this is not the first time they've had this conversation.
Where Chait is like, "No, that won't be happening. Just because Savannah and the Shido have no honor doesn't mean I have no honor. So I will be following Giotto. I will be here as Gaishain for a year and a day, and then I will leave."
Yeah, and if they try to stop me at that point, then we'll have a problem. Right. But right now, she's still playing by the rules.
Yes.
And like I can respect that. I get that. I understand it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Actually, I do get that.
Yeah, and it seems
I don't love it, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you then, do you think that Bane and Chiad, like hypothetically, year and a day down the road, are the Shido going to let the Aiel Gaishain go after the year and a day?
No.
You don't think so?
No way.
I could see them doing it with the Aiel letting them go, but the Wetlanders are kind of screwed.
Well, to be fair, what other Aiel do they have as Gaishain right now?
I mean,
maybe the ones that they ended up leaving the waste with?
Yeah.
Because it's only been a couple months, realistically, since that happened.
Yeah.
So maybe the ones that they have with them right now, that might be a problem.
It's like, are you grandfathered into the old program where it was year and a day, or are you...
Because Bane and Chiad might be the only other random Aiel in this countryside for them to take as Gaishain. So it's almost like a one-off.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. We have seen a couple instances, and I think Fael thinks it in this chapter.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I honestly really doubt it because they're trying to set this precedent for Gaishain as a whole. And I think that if Savannah and Thorava, whatever, start letting the Aiel Gaishain go away, then the Wetlander Gaishain will be like, excuse me, and that'll be trickier for them.
There is a difference between the Wetlanders and the Aiel, though, so...
Yeah, but not really to the Shido.
Yeah. I can understand that, too. Yeah. Gotta wait and see.
Okay, and now, because we're only doing one chapter here, I think that this might be a pretty good time to take a bit of a break, and then we're gonna come right back.
Okay.
Okay, and we're back. Now, at this point, we get a really big description about this city of Malden.
Yeah.
And I wrote in my notes, ... who cares?
Yeah.
And I'm ready to move on with the plot.
Okay.
But I bet you're not.
No, because there's two things.
Tell me why this is important. That's what I'm looking for here. Can you please tell me why I should care?
There's one important thing and one funny question I have for you. The important thing is the Shido do have some rules about taking Gaishain because they don't let pregnant women or women who have children under 10 or children under age 16 and blacksmiths become Gaishain.
Yeah.
Everybody else becomes Gaishain, basically.
Right, okay.
The question for you is, this city used to produce, at least until the Shido came, used to produce pretty good wool and a lot of pretty good wine.
Right.
So, would you rather have a little bit of really good wine or a lot of a pretty good wine?
A lot of a pretty good wine.
Okay, all right, there you go. I don't know.
Duh.
Some people might want a little bit of something great.
Nah.
Quantity.
You show me the difference between like a $15 bottle of wine and a $30 bottle of wine.
I don't even know.
You know, I'm sure there is one.
Yeah.
And probably at some point I'd be like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
You know? But in my daily life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Quantity.
Box of wine from Costco is where I'm going.
There we go.
That's what's happening here.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Okay, there we go. That's the important business.
Like, you knew that answer, right?
I mean, I hoped I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our relationship would be in turmoil.
Like, you think I would choose a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same question.
A little bit of wine?
It's the same question with pizza, you know? You can go both ways.
Although, I would prefer a little bit of really good pizza.
See?
Yeah.
And that's
I
where
would like a one slice, you know, or like a 1 or 2 slice of like some really good like New York pizza.
Sure.
As opposed to like a bunch of pizzas like really mediocre. Like, yeah, I would like, see, it's different when it's the thing.
It's different when it depends what it is.
Depends
I get
what
it. Okay.
Is, so.
Anyways, let's get to the
can we move on?
The uncomfortable business.
Oh, goodness. Well, Fael's gonna go about her business.
Yeah.
She's off to the laundry table.
Mm-hmm.
And then a huge Aiel man, who's about like 7 feet tall, steps in front of her and says, "You're very pretty," and then burps in her face.
Yeah.
And turns out the wine that this town has been producing has been consumed all by this one man.
Yep, pretty much.
But, Faila at this point doesn't feel any fear.
Yes.
She feels protected as a Gaishain.
Yeah.
Because there are still rules.
Yes.
She can't be interfered with. She's a Gaishain.
Yeah, plus she's Savannah's Gaishain, so there's like an extra layer of protection she thinks she has.
Yes. So she just says, "I'm Savannah's Gaishain. Bye," and tries to step around him, but then gasps when he grabs her arm and says, "Savannah has hundreds of Gaishain. She won't miss one for an hour or two," and then picks her up, and I'm like, oh my god. Is this actually happening?
Yes, it is.
Yikes. So she tries to scream and tries to bite him and tries to flail and is like freaking out, panicking, flailing all around, hoping that someone's paying attention to what's happening, but for the most part, people just keep their heads down.
Yeah.
And
she's
just being carried off.
And I mean, this is the whole traditional rules with the Aiels. Like, Gaishain are literally not supposed to be interfered with or messed with at all. And also, Gaishain are forbidden to do violence for any reason at all. Doesn't matter why. But, I mean, in traditional Aiel society, nothing like this would also ever happen.
Right.
So,
although maybe in the Shido, who's to say?
Who's to say?
Honorless dogs.
Right. Who are you, Ruark?
How did you get that title, really?
Yeah, right?
It must have started before.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Seriously. Okay. Okay.
But then, abruptly, they stop moving, and she hears another man say, "I made this one Gaishain, Nadric."
Yes, yeah. So the big dude carrying her is
called Nadric.
Nadric, yep.
And he says, "She belongs to Savannah now, brotherless.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah takes what she wants, and I take what I want. It's the new way."
All right.
And the other guy says, "I never gave her to Savannah. Do you abandon your honor because Savannah abandons hers?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point.
Okay.
Because then he doesn't say anything for a while. There's a long silence.
Yeah.
And then Nadric drops Fael.
Yes.
And is like, she wasn't pretty enough anyway. And like walks away.
Yeah.
And so that's clearly what got to him as an Aiel. It's like, no, I actually do have some honor, turns out.
Yeah, maybe some remnants.
I don't like being called on it. I don't like being called on the fact that I am,
an honorless dog. Yeah.
An honorless Shido, right?
Yeah.
But that's clearly what this is.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with that. It does seem like the Shido and the non-Shido within this camp, maybe there's some fractions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe they're not one cohesive group.
Oh, for sure not.
No, I mean, clearly, and especially between the wise ones, too, but there's clearly some, not exactly lining up values here.
Yeah, but it's for sure the same sentiment that, like, just because Savannah has dropped all remnants of Aiel culture doesn't mean I'm going to.
Yeah.
And that's what Bane and Chiad are standing by.
Yep.
And that's clearly what got to this guy, too.
Yeah.
So Fael here lands hard on the ground and takes a second to even catch her breath. She realizes she's in some alleyway, and it takes her a little bit to recover, and she finally looks at her, quote, rescuer.
Yeah.
And she sees it's basically the guy who had carried her the whole way.
Yeah, we did meet Roland back in Winter's Heart at the beginning.
Right.
So he did initially take her, like he did actually take her, Gaishain,
mm-hmm.
and he did keep her from freezing to death. So like we do actually know this guy.
Yeah. And now he doesn't make any move towards her. He just stands there watching, and then she says, "Thank you, I guess." And then Roland says, "Oh, I don't ask for gratitude. I'm just like, this is just the way."
Yeah.
And then Fael tries her best to, like, stalk back to the street, but her legs are still shaking. Like, this is a really scary encounter.
Oh, it's horrifying, yeah. And she even thinks to herself, because she's been thinking about, like, what am I going to do? Because I am in an alleyway, and I wasn't out where people could see anything happening. Yeah. And if Roland did make a move to, like, towards her, she'd start screaming and try to probably bite him again. Like, bite this guy, too. So it's a horrifying situation she's in.
Right. So Fael goes back to her laundry that's been, like, spilled out on the ground, and she's basically worried about Savannah's silks getting dirty.
Yeah.
Because they're really hard to clean.
I imagine there's like some level of her brain shutting down a little bit too, trying to feign normalcy.
Or more shock. I was going to say
yeah.
a state of shock more than intentionally feigning anything, but yeah.
Yeah, like you just went through something crazy traumatic and you're trying to just like go about your day.
Yeah.
And that's not how your brain works.
That's what shock is, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not her intentionally trying to do something. That's just shock, and she's thinking, this is what's most important right now. And so that's what she's moving on with.
Yeah, for sure. Pop quiz though for you. Brotherless. Do you remember what that means?
Okay, so that's because Nadric calls Roland brotherless.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that means that he's abandoned his sept.
Yeah.
Because he does not want to follow Rand.
Yes.
And didn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And so then he's sort of glommed on to the Shido.
Yeah.
But he's not a Shido.
Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, so they abandoned Sept and Clan, specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I like to equate the Brotherless, in a sense, to the same thing in a way to the Spears of the Dragon that Rand has. They're people who've basically abandoned their Septs and clans to be like...
To specifically follow him.
To specifically follow him and be like, we're weapons for you.
That.
They're the opposite, but the same, but different, but still same.
But the opposite.
Yeah.
The same but opposite.
Yeah, they just didn't want to follow Rand specifically because, why, whatever reason.
Confused.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And if you recall, there's a bunch of Aiel hanging out in Farmatting. In Winter's Heart, last book, when Rand showed up to Farmatting, there's a bunch of Aiel just like kind of there.
Confused.
Lost. Didn't want to be with the Shido. Didn't want to be with Rand.
Brett.
Hanging out in Farmatting.
The lost ones.
Oh man, it's like they're lost. Yeah. It's almost like there's like very similarities.
Oh no.
Okay. Anyways, it's good.
Aren't the Tinkers the lost ones?
Yeah.
Aw, nuts.
Like, you are lost to us. Yeah. Oh man, it's almost like their histories are intertwined. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, anyway, back to present. While Fail is gathering up the laundry that all fell on the ground, Roland, just Roland. No D at the end.
The D will pop up somewhere else secretly in another person's name.
Oh my god.
That's how missing.
That was she said.
Oh yeah.
The D will pop up. Brett, you can't.
I didn't even. I was just like the missing letters thing and the different people's names where it's like Ivan and there's like extra H, but it's because there's taken from Thomas. Like that's a thing that we've talked about.
Yeah, no.
This
wasn't definitely said the D will pop up secretly.
Oh, sometimes.
Yikes.
Sometimes. Okay.
What name? Who has a secret D?
I'm just talking about like it's a regular name,
who,
but
though?
like
you said it'll come up. Like actually, or you're like no,
that's part of the joke.
Oh no, this is a new joke.
Oh man,
this is a different joke that happened.
Okay.
Yikes.
Well, you know what? I don't want to say like, oh no, I spoiled something, but gosh,
no,
golly, gee whiz. Okay. All right.
Anyway, Roland is helping her pick stuff up, and then Fail stops herself from snapping at him and tries to think this through. She realizes that Roland hadn't been there by chance, because it turns out he's a sneaky sneak.
It's not a coincidence. And again, I gotta give some props to Fail for thinking like pretty logically in a very stressful time in the moment, and like I can use this to my advantage.
Mm-hmm. But then at the time, she's also like, I really don't want to use this.
Yeah, she doesn't, but also she, it's making the best of a horrible situation.
Right. Okay. So Fail thanks him again and gives him a smile, and he smiles back.
A little bit. Yeah, there's a little...
And so, they walk together a little ways, and he's like, I've been watching you. But then he says, you're strong, you're fierce, and not afraid. I think you're a woman of much G.
Yeah, it's really funny because...
yeah, hell yeah.
It's really funny because, your inflection on the way Roland's talking...
Yeah.
probably not at all. I've been watching you. Yeah, probably not said like that.
It's more like, I've seen you around and...
Well, this is the thing. Fail thinks to herself, Roland has seen me completely stripped naked when he first rescued me, and if he wanted to do something, he would have done it then. But also, no, because also Aiel have very different, sensibilities on nudity. Like, it's very different.
Yeah.
And for him, seeing you naked in that sense, that's not necessarily like a sexual thing.
It's not, yes.
No. So, like, it is different, and she's not fully understanding the culture of the
Fair.
Aiel. So.
Okay, but Fael tells him that she is frightened, and she just tries not to let it show. And when he tells her that he'd like to see her laugh, she says, well, there's not much reason to laugh while I'm Guy Shine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wait.
She's like, oh, pump the brakes.
Yeah, was that too fast? Am I moving too fast?
No, this is great. Because then Roland is like, well, I don't have a wife, but I've heard you have a husband?
Wink, question mark? Okay.
And then Fael trips a bit and is like, I do have a husband, and I love him very much.
Yeah, right.
I love him.
I want to return to him.
I'm going back to him.
At some point.
And it's very interesting. I love this dynamic.
Oh, you do?
Only because Perrin is in a rather similar dynamic.
Oh, with Berylane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when we get to Alejandra and she's like, what are you doing over there? And Fael's like, oh, nothing. But
I just thought
she thinks they're like doing it.
I have a thought and I have a question now. Okay. Because there's similarities.
Yes.
Perrin in like a precarious situation with Berylane.
Avoiding it at all costs.
Yeah. And then now, Fael in this...
Embracing it.
Yeah, maybe a hypothetically precarious situation with Roland.
Right.
We know that Perrin and Fael have I'm going to use a big word, tumultuous relationship with jealousy.
Sure.
Do you think there's going to be any feelings back and forth between like the Perrin, Berylane / Fael, Roland situation?
Right.
Assuming things come to light and, at some point, Perrin and Fael are reunited. Okay, go.
Well, the Perrin and Berylane situation has a lot more roots.
Yeah, with like the Two Rivers men and stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
No, just with Fael.
Oh!
Just with Fael and Perrin.
Yeah.
There are a lot more roots.
Yeah, and I mean...
it's a lot more ingrained. It's a lot more...
And Fael, Berylane. They hate each other automatically.
It's a whole thing. With this Roland situation, I think even if she goes so far as to, sleep with him, to, get out of there. Okay. Let's just say.
Yeah.
I still think that Perrin would forgive her.
Interesting. Okay.
Because he gets her back and he understands the situation she's been in.
The past is the past.
Because
kind of
Perrin is so remarkably understanding, as a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like he will be able to move past it and justify it and trust her and be fine.
Yeah.
However, if Perrin were to be in the same situation, Fael would not be okay with it.
Perrin better not sleep with Berylane.
Never.
Okay.
No, better not.
Because there's rumors floating around that it's already happened.
I know, and that's the problem.
Oof.
But here, there might be some rumors that I think that Perrin would be more okay with this.
Yeah, then Fael would
be okay with him.
I like that.
And I think that that's just facts.
That's heavy. That's
facts.
Heavy. Okay. That's
my take on the situation.
That's a lot.
What do you think? Is it...
That's...
Yes, no?
Pretty well reasoned. Knowing the characters of Perrin and Fael.
Right. And I think I do.
Yeah.
Maybe I do. I don't actually even know what's really...
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Perrin's gonna be backstabbed and betrayed forever.
Yeah, well, because, so to end this little situation here, Roland is like, well, while your guys shine, what can't be held against you.
Yeah.
And maybe you wetlanders won't see it that way, but, it can still be lonely.
So we can talk, we can chat.
And Fael's like, I'd like that.
Okay.
And she considers her escape options.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, I'm not ruling this out.
Yeah. I mean, there is a hypothetical advantage, too, with Fael thinking, okay, maybe not all Aiel are okay with wetlanders being Guy Shine. We did hear some conversations when she was taken.
Considering he's brotherless and not Shido.
Exactly. Maybe he's not okay with the whole wetlander Guy Shine situation. So, just like Ban and Chiad, hey, I'll be Guy Shine, but not for these people.
I'm going to help you escape.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the cards.
It might be in the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if...
Okay.
Fael's going along with this. Roland's actually a really cool dude, and she falls in love with him.
Replace Perrin.
No. Why does Bran...
Oh,
Why
no.
is Rand the only one who gets multiple spouses? Why can't everyone just... Why can't Fael?
Fael gets Perrin and Roland. Bromance,
Maybe.
romantic relation. Roland and Perrin.
Yeah, why not?
New best friends.
Why not?
You know
What's
what?
wrong with that? Why can't other people in this series be so in love,
so crazy in love,
with one other person that they both agree
I'm here for it.
that they can't live without her?
All right. What do we call Perrin and Roland? Poland?
Please, what?
Well, did they get like a mixed name?
I understand what you're saying. Prolin.
How do you mix all those names? That's not important right now. But I get it. I like it. I like it. Okay. So maybe it's like a...
I don't think that that's going to happen, even remotely. But, like, I'm annoyed. Why can't it happen, you know?
Oh, you're just, like, already discounting the fact that nothing like that.
No way.
Okay.
No. Nothing like that will ever actually happen. Because that would just be, like, too cool.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It'd be too cool for school.
Okay.
But I'm here for it. Who's writing that fanfic, actually? Please?
You know what? There might be. There might be.
Please.
Yeah.
Please do it. And then tell me it happened.
Well, maybe that's just like the canon story.
Although,
do know.
I want a full thing with like Perrin and anyway?
Yeah, now we're too deep into it, and let's get out of this.
We are.
Okay.
Now all I can think about is other characters who should also get to be in polygamous relationships if they want to be.
Get more people in on this.
Like, yeah, why just Rand?
Why? What's going on here?
Right?
You right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's talk about aqueducts, because the city has aqueducts here, right?
No.
That's a thing?
Okay. Well, okay. So we're going to reach the inner fortress part of the city, and there's an explanation on the aqueduct system.
Yeah. Because Fael could hypothetically escape through it.
Yeah.
But then she would be wet and cold and then freeze to death.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Now, we get that Alejandra is here at the laundry station, and she sees Fael coming towards her with Roland still beside her. And Fael's like, well, that's the guy who captured me. Because Alejandra looks at this situation, like they've smiled at each other.
Yeah.
Fael's dress on the back is all dirty from like where she was dropped. So she like raises a quizzical eyebrow.
Yeah, she's like, what happened there? Question mark. And nothing like what...
And Fael's like, no. He's gonna help us escape, I think. I think he'll help us. And then Alejandra's just like, okay, well... if he helped me escape, I'd marry him.
Yeah, like if you wanted to.
I would marry him.
I'd be cool with that.
He's not quite pretty, but it wouldn't be that bad, and I would be into it because I really need to get out of
And
here.
I wouldn't tell him that he's not pretty. And it's okay. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but specifically, Fael will not tell anybody what happened with Nadric.
yeah, which is I kind of understand. I kind of get I don't want to tell anybody, but also... in a sense, is fair warning to everybody else. Like, hey, rules are off with the whole Guy Shine thing. Be careful out there.
Guys,
yeah, I feel like there should be a little bit of fair
and maybe
warning.
that might happen.
Maybe, but just not right now. And I get that too. So
But she just doesn't want to be implicated more than anything.
Also,
and that also is quite
horrible. Yeah, horrible situation. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we get a recap on the complicated relationship between Fael and Alejandra, because technically, Alejandra's the liege woman to Perrin, and she's the one whose name I can never remember. And so I'm glad I wrote it a lot of times in my notes.
Alejandra. Yeah.
Now, they're both Guy Shine, and they've both had to switch each other.
Yep.
At different points because Savannah's punishments are terrible.
Yeah, and also it's just whoever's closest is the person who wants to switch the other guy's shine. So even though there should be Alejandra is lower than Fael in the hierarchy, they also talked about hey, while we're Guy Shine,
but
we're all servants
also
here.
Was used to being the queen of Gildan, so there's that.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
The one you mistake Alejandra for is Amathera, and the issue is we kind of got introduced to Amathera and Alejandra relatively closely with the name situation too.
Yeah.
You've made that, yeah.
Well, and then also all the other people who have just random A names.
Yeah, right. There's a few. There's maybe 2 or 3 more.
Yeah,
That's
lots.
Fine.
There's lots of them. But Fael tells Alejandra that the 2 Cha Fael women escaped 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And she asks where is Magden.
Yeah.
She should be here right now.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to call Morgaze Magden now, since that's what she's going by?
I go by what they call her in the
perspective?
chapter, in
Okay.
the perspective.
Yeah, because Fael knows her as Magden. It's
just to keep things straight here.
Yeah.
But we all know
Magden is Morgaze. Yeah.
And we know that Morgaze is Morgaze.
Yeah.
You know? So if I was in Morgaze's perspective, I would say Morgaze. But because we're in Fael and Alejandro's calling her Magden and they all call her Magden, then I'm calling her Magden.
Okay.
But
it's a tricky situation.
But I for sure call her Morgaze.
Yeah.
But it would be really confusing if I just said to you right now, Fael says, "Where is Morgaze?" Because she didn't. She didn't say that.
She doesn't say that, yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's where I'm at.
It's also tricky because, like, Egianan is now, like, going by Leolwyn, because that's, like, her fake name with the Matt relationship. It's tricky.
Yeah, I forgot about that completely.
Yeah.
Like, if you had asked me right now, what is the name Egianan is going by? No clue.
You should remember that.
Well,
It's the fake name. She's trying to keep up appearances with Matt.
Well, I didn't, and I didn't even.
We need to look at a flow chart.
Oh my god! How many flow charts do I need?
We could start with one.
I was actually just looking back at my notes because now that I have a journal, I can do that.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the prologue notes of all the Aes Sedai we met, and like keeping them all straight. And I was like, wow, these notes are great. I have no idea who any of these people are. Like, we're only 9 chapters later, and I have no idea.
I have a purpose still. That's good. That's good. That's good news for me.
Sure, you have a purpose.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
My job is secure for a little while longer.
Oh, forever.
You wonder why I didn't push the notebook thing? It's because I want to keep my job.
Yeah, even with the notebook. It like
no
literally
idea what's
doesn't
happening.
matter. I have no idea what's going on. And I think that most first-time readers would agree.
Oh yeah, you don't even try. You just give up.
Readers, like nobody knows.
Doesn't
no one knows what's happening.
You just keep going through.
Yeah, no one knows.
Okay.
No one knows what's happening.
All right.
Oh, anyways, where's Magden?
She should be back by now, but don't worry.
What-oh.
It's fine.
What-oh.
Yeah.
So, apparently, she's trying to sneak into Thrava's tent right now for the oath rod for Galena. And we saw that on, like, the first day.
Yeah.
And so, it's taken 22 days, because in a minute, we're about to get a timestamp that we have been here 22 days in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, like, the same moment, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
That we saw Perrin last chapter.
Yep. And it makes sense why Galena's so like, come on, what's going on? You're taking too long.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense.
Uh-huh. But we're all becoming more desperate at this point.
Yes. Yeah, that is definitely a theme here.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay. Is it about laundry?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, how could I wash silk without a washing machine or a dry cleaner?
Yeah.
Well, do I have the 18 pages of this book for you?
It's covered in Crossroads of Twilight. How to wash silk clothes.
Oh my god. Robert Jordan takes some time.
Yeah.
To explain the intricacies of washing silk.
I did. It's like you got to rub you got to rub it together itself.
Yes.
Right.
But then we put it in a towel and we roll it up and then we dunk it in the vinegar solution.
I appreciate.
And then we pat it down and then we roll it up.
You sound like you don't appreciate
the
efforts that he went to. I'm assuming that it's accurate.
Yeah.
That's the first issue.
I'm sure this is accurate.
I am not going to fact check this.
And
I assume it's true.
If I ever own anything that's silk.
Yeah.
Which I honestly don't think I do.
Mm-hmm.
But But if I ever own real silk and I need to wash it myself.
Yeah.
Now I'll know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this. And you're going to look at me being like, why are you rolling that up? And then you're going to be like, is that silk? And you're going to know. Because this information is very important.
The closer reality will be you will be a cleaning lady for someone who owns silk clothes versus you owning silk clothes.
One day I might own something that's real silk, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
One day this podcast is going to be so famous that I'm so rich. And I
the first thing you do is buy silk, but then you have to wash it yourself.
Well, no, what do I do with this silk? Because I'm not going to spring for the dry cleaner or whatever.
For sure not. Why would you?
And maybe it has the tag in it
that
says do not dry clean.
That sounds crazy to me.
I hate that tag. I have actually some clothes that say, do not dry clean.
How else am I supposed to
And
clean?
you think to yourself,
My
well,
washing machine?
how am I supposed to ever clean this then?
You don't. You're so rich that you just buy new clothes.
Well, who wants to hear the story about the floor rug that I returned to Costco 4 years after buying it?
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Costco came up a lot this episode.
I mean, at least twice.
So the floor rug
yeah.
was like a shaggy rug,
Yeah.
and it was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
It got so dirty over time, especially with our firstborn.
Sure, blame it on the newborn.
Well, he's
not you, not just you.
Well, he was quite messy. Yogurt gets spilled on it.
Kept spilling wine. It was crazy. Like
no, not just wine, but like it was the milk product specifically.
Yeah.
That got into it. Started smelling bad. I took it outside to like steam clean it one time, and then left it outside to dry, and then it rained.
Yeah.
And that was terrible. But the tag on it said, do not dry clean.
Which is crazy.
So then how am I supposed to wash this? So it was disgusting. I rolled
You think what I'm doing to this carpet is better than dry cleaning?
I rolled it up. I brought it to Costco. And I was like, look at this tag on the bottom. I was like, I can't clean it. And they were like, and they gave me my money back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
So if anybody ever wants to return anything to Costco and is feeling bad about it,
Don't. You've done worse. The worst has already been done by you.
You can do it. You know those stories of the people who return like the dead Christmas tree to Costco?
Oh, yeah.
Like things like that?
Yeah.
You too.
If
I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talked about as much about that as Robert Jordan wrote about how to wash soap.
That's true.
And on that note, let's take a quick break and then we'll come on back.
All right.
Okay, so we're back and we're gonna get Galena entering this scene.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people entering the stage right now.
Stage left. That's what happens.
Yeah. So Galena comes up and Fael thinks it's a super strange situation that Galena's in because she usually shares her tent with Thorava.
Yep.
But Galena needs their help to steal a thing from Thorava's tent where she spends so much time, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But then I remembered the oath to obey.
Yeah.
And so she can't.
Yeah, she literally cannot.
Yeah.
So that's why she needs these people.
And that's why she wants the oath rod so that she can
break it.
Because
you can take oaths off with the oath rod.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, Galena comes up and tells them that they're not doing a good job of their work. And she's definitely not talking about the laundry right now.
Yeah.
And Fael is like, okay, well, Megden went to get the rod this morning. So, how about some of that help that you promised? Because we haven't seen any of that either.
Except, wait, what?
Yeah, and then the blood drains from Galena's face. And she goes, she went to Thorava's tent this morning.
And it's like, it's not morning anymore, guys.
And then suddenly, Fael realizes it's way too late in the day and Megden definitely should have been back by now. And then Galena looks over her shoulder and then we don't have much suspense about this at all.
Well,
because Megden walks in.
We don't have suspense, but we should because Megden is here, but also bad because she did get caught.
Yeah.
Just not trying to steal the oath rod. And
really?
They
don't know what she was there to steal. But they think she was there to steal something. But it's not as bad as it could have been. Yeah. Considering.
Like caught in the act of stealing the oath rod.
She's literally walking up right now. And then we get the classic line that Megden's face looks like that of a queen's.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, weird. I wonder why.
Crazy.
So crazy.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Did you catch the undertones about the Thorava-Galena situation?
No. Of course not. I don't know. I don't care, really.
Okay. It's just, so here's the thing. Fael thinks Galena is pretty, but nowhere near beautiful. Fael doesn't understand what Thorava sees in her unless it's pleasure of dominating an Aes Sedai.
Okay.
So
well, that's Fael's read on the situation.
Yep. So, but there is implications, and there's a couple other comments in this chapter that the Thorava-Galena relationship here might be sexual in nature.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, because we know from like a long time ago that Galena was super obsessed with how attractive women were.
Yes. Yeah. Like, in a very bad way, Ferreira is,
Well, I like that less.
That, it's not great. I wanted to point it out because it is here in the writing.
Well, thanks, Robert Jordan.
Yeah, there you go.
This is what we needed. More moral ambiguity.
Yeah.
For sure, that's what we're all asking for.
Bad things happening to bad people, and you're like, is this good? Nope, probably not. Still bad. But, like, Galena is literally Black Aja. Come on.
Yeah. Because I also do think there's the dynamic of Savannah wanting to control Galena, and so Ferreira getting to control Galena is almost putting it in Savannah's face and doesn't really have much to do with Galena anyway.
No. It's all bad.
Or it doesn't have much to do with the Aes Sedai aspect of it, like Fael's thinking.
Yeah, and that's fair too. And it's just like a whole, if you thought how bad it was, it's actually probably worse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, Magdan, she's here.
Right. Not looking so good, and she lets Galena know that she's good, she hasn't been implicated, because Ferreira thought that Magdan was there to steal.
Yeah.
But she hadn't started looking.
Yeah, so just like regular stuff, probably.
Because something happened, and then she left. And then she says, Galena, what is it? Even I can feel it.
Mm-hmm. And if you forgot, Morgaze is able to channel, but like so weak that she literally can't do anything.
Okay, and now, should we be thinking that Galena should recognize Morgaze? I'm just waiting for somebody somewhere to recognize Morgaze. You know?
Yeah.
Because Galena has been at the tower, and Morgaze is the queen of Camelin who visits the tower.
Yeah.
And
like, we don't know how often, and like maybe she looks a little bit different, out of place.
And it could be like the situation where it's like, oh, this random person here kind of looks like Morgaze.
You kind of look like the Queen of Andor. It's like, haha, crazy, right?
I'm just waiting for it, That's what I've been waiting for this whole time. Can somebody please?
Someone needs to recognize Morgaze.
No, but like, not the wrong person.
Oh, what, like...
You know what I mean? Because if Galena here
Galena would be the wrong person.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So, probably good that she doesn't.
Yeah.
But somebody somewhere should frickin' recognize her.
Maybe. Maybe at some point.
Like.
Someone. Anybody but the right person. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Waiting for the right person. That's what we're doing. Okay.
I just feel like I'm not feeling hopeful for Morgaze.
Okay.
I'm just...
Wait, what does that mean? Like she's not getting out of here?
No. She's getting out of here. But just like for herself in life... Yeah. Even going forward from here, I just don't feel hopeful for her.
Marriage proposal on the table from Talonvar. It's like, things are in the works.
No, that's hardly what I mean.
Okay.
I
understand.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff.
So Galena's pissed off. She grabs Magdan's hair and wrenches her head back and is like, don't worry about it. All you have to do is focus on getting me what I want.
Yeah.
And then... before Fael can do anything, another Guy Shine arrives.
Like a wetlander
who has an A name.
Aravine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pulls Galena away and throws her to the ground. And
Which is great.
And then Galena tries to pull rank here.
Yeah.
And is like, I'm Aes Sedai. But then Aravine threatens to tell Ferreira about Galena handling her Guy Shine.
Yeah.
Or Savannah's Guy Shine. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
The whole thing, it's a mess.
Galena tries to pull rank. Aravine's like, shut it, because you shouldn't be handling anybody.
Okay. So after Galena scampers off after this, Aravine tells Fael that Savannah wants her. So they're going to go off together, and Fael knows the way to Savannah's tent, but... Aravine is like, this way first, and points in the opposite direction of the tent.
Never go to the secondary location. You don't do it.
At this point, it's the primary location, because we haven't got to the first location first.
No, I guess that's fair. Okay. Yeah,
we haven't got to somewhere and then gone somewhere else.
Take your money club. And you throw it. You want this? Go get it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, okay, so Fael seems like
suspicious.
Super suspicious, because it's kind of weird.
But she goes anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And is this where, like, because you were suspicious?
I'm still okay.
Okay.
I'm still okay a little bit, because at first, I don't even think that Savannah has summoned her.
Okay.
At first, this seems like...
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
Yeah.
And she really just wanted to show Fael this situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is...
Yeah. Right.
She's led to somewhere that there's a cart with 2 women lying naked and basically hogtied.
Yep.
And shivering in the cold. And it is Arella and Lucille.
So the 2 Chafael
that they were sure got away.
That Ban and Chiad
were
let out.
For sure thought they got away.
They're like, they did not get away.
They were brought back this morning. They'll be untied before dark since it's their first time that they've tried to escape.
Yeah.
But Fael demands to know why Eravine is showing her this. And she's like, well, I was there when you were made Gashine. And then she does something super quickly and super surprising, and she grabs Fael's hands and pledges fealty and obedience to Fael.
Yeah.
Really fast with all of the proper oathy words.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen people swear allegiance to people before.
And like break it.
I mean, Egwene's had people do this to her.
Right.
Fael, like, she's a liege lady.
What I was thinking is, it's really similar to the Min, Lyanna, and Swan swearing fealty to Brynn.
Okay.
You know, because it's those words, right? Like, it's those ones that, like, that's what this felt like. I'm swearing fealty to you.
Yeah.
To, I don't know.
Get me out of this situation.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so, just hypothetically, even with the Swan Lyanna situation, they did swear the words, and they, in a sense, like, with some loopholes, were gonna uphold those. But it was to get them out of a bad situation. And with, like, this Eravine woman... She's in a horrible situation, and I understand it. Like, you see a hope, you see a little bit of a light, and you're like, I'm going to grab onto that.
She found out some good information, and even this, like...
Take me with you. Take me with you. That's literally the point. So,
yeah.
I understand Fael is kind of suspicious about, like, why did you show me this?
Well, we don't quite know her relationship to Savannah or Thorava. Like, she might be quite broken... and be trying to gain favor.
Like
as top guy shine.
I'm thinking like Damani too.
I know. Well, yeah exactly.
Okay.
Quite broken. We don't actually know.
That's true.
But I do have to say, right now, before we get to Savannah's tent, I really did feel okay. I trusted her, and I was like, yeah, let's go with her. Let's do this.
Before we got to the tent, you trust? And
yeah.
So,
and then
after you don't?
Yeah.
Really?
Well... I'm more skeptical than I was. Because that felt like another trap.
Like, if anything, you should, like, be angry at Galena, not this person.
No, it should feel like, for me, it felt like Savannah told this Eravine to get Fael, but first, bring her to show her.
Yeah.
And then bring her to my tent.
Interesting.
And I thought that maybe it was a Savannah ploy.
Okay.
And then this woman in the middle of all of this maybe saw this opportunity to swear fealty to try to get herself out if Fael's getting out, but then maybe she's actually loyal to Savannah and that's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of this trap.
Yeah. I mean, you're reading a lot into a lot of it.
My skeptical brain. Like, I almost want to put Arvine on a suspicious list.
I mean... You've done more with this than you did with, like, Noel, so...
Well, Noel is just pure gut feeling. Like, that guy is pure intuition. That guy's bad news.
Now, with Eravine, you're just like, this poor woman who wants to also escape from this horrible camp. Don't trust her.
maybe not, though. Because this seemed like another trap for Fael.
Hidden secret trap. Yeah, no.
Well,
totally.
no. I think...
It's secret because you didn't count the traps. Didn't count the traps that Fael was counting.
Correct.
So, yeah,
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's not over yet, though, because Eravine swears to the Lady Fael Taibara.
Yeah, which is not the name she's been going by.
No, she's been going by Fael Bashar. What's the name?
Bashir?
What am I saying?
Bashar. I don't know what you're saying. You're talking crazy right now. Bashir.
I don't even know what's going on right now. Okay, but yes. So, Fael jerks her hands free and is like, how do you know that name?
It's like, hey, know how you think you're being
You know
super
how
sneaky?
Alejandra and Galena and
I love
the
because
Chafail.
the only people who know this are
this-
Alejandra and my Chafail who just got kidnapped, and maybe Galina, and also maybe people who heard
probably
like,
Magden.
yeah,
and
probably that too. But like everyone,
how do you know that?
How do you know that? Nobody knows except for like 7 to 12 people,
Yeah.
maybe more. It's like maybe
And
that's
then
how.
Arvine's like, well, I overheard Galina say it to Fail once, and it's like, okay, maybe.
I guess so.
And she hasn't told anybody else. Please accept my oath and take me with you.
Yeah. Like, obviously, Fael's trying to escape.
And,
and if it's obvious to her, then Fael's just not as sneaky as she thinks she is. Like,
Fael thinks about killing this woman, so she doesn't betray her. And I was like,
well, she thinks about going to
worst.
get her hidden knife.
Which is not
so hidden, yeah.
It's not hidden.
Yeah.
I know. But then, on a whim, basically, she just decides to accept her oath and is like, is there anyone else you can trust?
No.
Yeah.
No, there's not. Maybe, but like...
no. And especially this is a trap.
Yeah.
So in this moment, I was actually like, okay, cool. Let's help this woman.
Okay.
And then when we find out a little more information, I get a little more skeptical.
Which is interesting.
Of RV.
Because
I think Savannah would want Fael to see these women who were captured.
To like know what's coming?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can accept that. Yeah.
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 Okay. Now it's time for Fael to go to Savannah's tent because it was a real summons. But when she gets there, we're given a big description of the giant tent with all the fancy stuff that Savannah likes. And Savannah is in there talking with Tharava.
Yes.
And now Tharava is saying, what's happening today means danger. We need to put as much distance as possible between us and it.
Yes.
We need to head to the mountains to the east, and we'll gather all the steps there, not stay here.
We're heading back basically to the waste. That's kind of Tharava's entire deal. And Savannah's been the one who's saying, no, let's stay here. There's so many riches.
Oh, and you know what's
jewelry.
interesting? We never talked about it, but Fael does know Savannah's plan to marry Rand.
Yeah.
It's brought up in this chapter.
Yeah.
That even Fael is aware of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
okay. Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
And now, another point here is that clearly everybody who can channel is incredibly impacted by this channeling incident.
Yeah.
This thing that's happening
big
around them right now.
It's the big thing.
And it's important to note Savannah can't channel, so she doesn't care.
And also, Savannah's like mildly to overly jelly about not being able to channel.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she's like, no.
No, we're not moving.
We're
not
going to
do that. Yeah.
Because of this, because of this, because of this, and because of that.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah. It's going to take too much time in the snow.
Oh, yeah, that.
It's far away. There's lots of food and water here. We can stay for weeks.
And wine.
Nobody's going to challenge us. And then in a month, so like about 4 weeks, there's going to be 10 more seps joining up with us here. And by that point, the snow's melted, and then we can leave. So that also puts some time frames on like other Shido septs who might be joining.
Right.
So we're
based on like word, I guess.
Yeah, runners, messengers, like, hey, where are you?
Yeah,
we're coming this way.
Okay.
They don't have text messaging yet, but
some
sort of email
that
system.
That would be excellent. We've talked about that lots of times.
Yeah.
But Savannah puts her foot down on this matter and says they're staying put for now. And then she sees Fael and is like, oh, hi there, my lovely Fael servant.
Oh, hey, forgot about you for a second. Okay.
Do you recognize this?
Ha!
Pulls out her knife.
Yep, the knife, the super sneaky hidden knife that Fael had.
She'd stolen it, hidden it away, but even though Gaishain are not allowed to have any weapons at all, Savannah keeps talking and says, it's good that Galina brought me this before you could use it.
Ha 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 ha. Yep.
And then she starts laughing, and then asks Tharava what she should do with Fael.
Yeah. It's a pretty tense situation, too, because the Savannah-Tharava relationship is very tense, and Tharava literally asked Fael to spy on Savannah for her, so that's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Now, it turns out several Wetlanders have been killed for hiding weapons, but she wouldn't want to lose such a good Gaishain as Fael.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, there's a tense moment with Tharava looking at Fael, and Tharava says, I think she was planning to run away, but I think she can learn to do as she's told.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be bad. There's gonna be
not
consequences.
as bad as it could be. Not as bad as it's not as bad as death.
I guess it depends where you rank death on the scale of badness.
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
As like most bad.
And I think that Fail would rank death as most bad.
Possibly.
I think so.
The wolves would be like, moderately okay.
The wolves are
yeah,
like, it's cool,
okay.
man. It's
bound
part
to happen
of it.
at some point.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Fail, I think at this moment, definitely doesn't want to die.
Okay.
So then we get a time lapse.
Yep.
Because we get that Fail is on a table set out in an open space about 100 paces away from Savannah's tent. And at first, Fail thought the shame of being naked would be worse than any of it.
Yep.
But
Not
it's
true.
getting much colder overnight, and she has to stay here until morning. And now, Robert Jordan, for sure, has never heard of frostbite, and I'm not sure if I should complain more about this or if we should just let it go.
We're talking more about the snow.
Let it go. I said let it go, and it's frozen. I said let it go. That's so funny.
You know what,
Fail? Should I just let this go?
She's from Saldea, so the cold never really bothered her anyway. Yeah.
Even so,
Yeah.
if there's snow that's not melting,
yeah,
it's below freezing,
yeah,
and being out naked, your extremities would start to freeze.
Yeah. You would
That's
have
what would happen.
Severe frostbite.
Even overnight.
Oh, no.
Nose, ears, toes, fingers.
Yeah.
Gone.
You think that she's going to get some healing? A little bit of healing? A little capital H healing from the wise ones?
Actually, that would make the most sense in this situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Potentially. Do I think that that's even remotely in the realm of what Robert Jordan was writing here?
Yeah. Yep.
No.
Yep. Okay.
Not even at all.
All right.
Not even at all.
Yeah.
No.
So not a fan.
No.
Not a fan of that. Okay. Anyways, it's bad because she is currently getting the same fate as her two Chafael.
That's true. Except
being
they
hogtied.
are probably already let go.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't get like overnight treatment,
No,
but still,
but overnight is colder and
it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we get a description of the hog tying.
Oh, it's bad.
It's painful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, let's never let Perrin find out about this because his thought last chapter when we saw him was
they have to pay making her suffer.
Exactly, and he doesn't know anything about like this sort of treatment. So let's not talk to Perrin about any of our issues here.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That might set him off.
It might. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like how Rand went off when he found out that Min was being...
Oh yeah, and like
tied
just
up
like
and stuff.
killed a couple of warders with his bare
right.
hands.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean that.
Kind of like that.
It's pretty
cool.
I
mean,
okay.
honestly though,
yeah.
How interesting and exciting would that be in this book?
You want Young Bull to come out,
I
and
really want Young Bull.
How do you get Young Bull out? You tell Young Bull what's happening to his falcon. Yeah, that's what. Yep. Okay.
Terrible though. Just would be terrible strategy.
He still has like 2,500 dudes,
and it
versus like 70,000 Shido.
No, it wouldn't. He can't do it.
No,
it would be terrible.
Yeah,
that wouldn't work.
It wouldn't.
As interesting as it would be to read about,
no writing
that's
system.
Never gonna work.
RJ doesn't do the whole like, oh, magically they just overcame the force. Like that doesn't happen.
Not really.
They did it because they thought hard enough about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The only thing I see here, honestly, do you want to hear a crazy prediction
I need something because right now it's kind of a hopeless situation.
The only thing I can think of is Massima and his Shan-Chen connection. He gets some kind of like Shan-Chen force in here somehow, and it's like awful. It's everything that nobody wants.
Okay, no, explain that.
No, that's it. That's all I have. There's nothing to explain.
Because Massima's been having some backdoor dealings with the Shan-Chen.
Clearly.
And what, the Perrin's going to talk to the Shan-Chen and be like...
No, I don't know.
Massima's going to talk and be like,
Never mind.
yo,
it doesn't make any sense, but like,
let's link up and like beat the Shido so my wife can get free.
Well, maybe.
And the Shan-Chen would be like, yeah, that sounds like...
Maybe. They like to conquer people, sure. Let me tell you about how many channelers are in there.
Oh, there's like over 400, but less than 500.
Yes. Do you have that many, Idam?
You think Perrin's gonna let them take 400 Damani.
No.
That sounds crazy.
I know. Ooh, what a good debate, hey?
Oh, yeah. Should Perrin
If we
sacrifice 400 Wise One channelers for his wife?
To get Fael back. Ooh.
That's
like the trolley.
That's a trolley situation. That's a trolley problem. Yeah. It's like, well, what do you do?
Yeah. So the answer really is like, of course not.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
Put a giant blade on the wheel of the trolley.
But I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah. I think the very best situation, the best scenario in this case, honestly, is Fael getting out herself.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then something happening somewhere
like
where it's
run away.
But like maybe Rand's Aiel can fight these Aiel and actually smush them, so it's like a fair fight and we're like cool with it. But at some point, these Shadow need to be taken care of.
That's a lot of Shadow though. Like even if you have a full-fledged battle, like 70,000 Shadow here, that's like a big. And even if you
this is what I was telling you. When there's lots of Shadow in one spot, it's worse than a bunch everywhere.
Yeah, that's
this
what
is,
you were
I was
saying.
happy we
that's
were split up, but now they're all regrouping.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Anyways.
So this is a bad situation for Fael.
Yeah, now it's going to get a little bit awkward, I guess.
Yeah,
for Fael at least.
Because Fael hears someone say, Savannah ordered you to stay here until morning, but she didn't say you couldn't have company. And then Fael blinks through the sweat in her eyes, because we do get a lot of description of how terrible this is for her.
Oh, it's like immediately painful, because obviously. Yeah.
And she sees Roland here standing in front of her, but he's carrying these like braziers with glowing coals, and he puts the hot coals beneath the table, and she can feel the warmth coming up through the table.
Yeah.
And then he starts to methodically massage the knots in her muscles.
Yeah, it's important. So the massaging, it is not sexual in nature, even though she's naked and she has a little bit of a hang up at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's tension relieving. Your muscles are effed.
Yes.
So like, here we go. This is how we get through the night.
Right. It seems to be helping. Fael starts laughing, like hysterically, because of the situation.
That's like a Rand laughing situation where it's like, ha ha ha, it's all terrible.
She knows Savannah is going to be watching her closely from now on, and Thorava might try to kill her, but she's going to do whatever she can to escape. This is a very interesting pickle that she's in, because this Roland is here to really help her, and so, I think we should use it.
Okay, so you're on board.
I am. Oh,
yes. I'm just saying that could have gone. That could have gone a couple of different directions.
Nah, I'm on board with this for sure. Use anything at your disposal for sure. Get out.
Escape.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And I'm hopeful. that Perrin
before
will
Perrin
be
tries
understanding.
Okay.
For sure.
But also, Fael's thing was like, let's get out before Perrin tries something, because if he tries something, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, like trying to take prisoners,
and
assuming
attack, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yikes.
All of it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are. That's the pickle. That's the situation.
That sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah. Now, for the record, next episode, we are back to 2 chapters.
2 chapters.
Yeah, for 10-11.
Yeah.
And then also 12-13.
2 chapters.
2 chapters. But then we're going to do a couple singles.
Ooh, after that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens,
Let's do this.
It kind of feels like we might move on.
Okay.
From this, because that's just the trend.
Yeah.
In these books.
You get
we get a lot of Perrin Fael, especially, I think I just like last book, right?
Yeah.
We get the Perrin Fael situation, and then let's move on and see where everybody else is. But I really do have a feeling that a little more about this might be wrapped up this book.
Okay.
But not as much as I want. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I feel like I really want this to all get wrapped up and settled, and there's no way that's happening.
Okay.
So we'll just have to...
I guess read and find out. That's how it works.
That is how this works.
Yeah.
Okay, so now before you go ahead and clean silk without a washing machine very effectively, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for joining in and listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett, with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Charlie Haz, Adam, Hannah Green, and Marta Thier. With music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, you can visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a really big difference in helping other people find us. And tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.